Okay. So, I don't know. I wanted to stream something. Didn't know why I wanted to stream. um, so hey, let's play Love Thyself, a Horatio story. The art style here is interesting. This is very Rick and Morty-ish, is what it's evoking for me, but also like, yeah, it reminds me of something else too. Okay, all right, whatever. Let's just start this and let it speak for itself. Yeah. It's impossible to disassociate my story from that of Horatio, the first of our name. The first beings to travel widely between the stars were known as the Endless. We know of no earlier form of intelligent life that moved between galaxies. Their history is glorious, but above all, tragic. Though they unlocked the secrets of time, space, stars, and life itself, they were unable to master their own internal conflict. What remains now of the Endless are strange, disjointed traces and forms of seeds, of observatories, of experiments, of cities and worlds, and perhaps, though not all of it is clear or verifiable, in the form of other people. Many starfaring civilizations have since risen to the fore. Some have fallen as well. Events in recent history have led to an explosion in the number of players on the galactic scene. One of those, undoubtedly a major one, is Horatio. Once upon a time, Horatio was just a man, a simple trillionaire. One night, a vision came to him in the shape of a dream. It was a vision of an empire and eternal life. He left everything behind, venturing through the stars. Over the ages, he discovered many of the mysteries left by the Endless. His knowledge and his power grew. Created his first sons, willed his empire into existence, a beacon of all that is brilliant and beautiful. Now the empire of Horatio flourishes, and Horatio himself is immortal, with the power to rival that of the Endless themselves. Some say that we are living gods. Oh, some say that they were living gods. They're dead now, though. Well, we thrive through our brother, and our god, Horatio. Let's stay in the dream a bit longer. I hear a beautiful song. I don't want to wake up just yet. Okay, but now I go towards light. Think I hear someone. All the clones in this batch are to be decanted today. No, this is earlier than the original schedule planned for, but the schedule didn't plan for 2 patrol squads in the heartland of the Empire to go missing within a month. Follow my lead, the procedure will be fine. If you do well today, you might be promoted to junior lab technician earlier than expected. This would be amazing, sir. Don't interrupt. Most of the process is automated, but contrarily to some of the clone hatching sequences you've seen in class, the final steps are still done by hand. There are like this expression right here. This is very, well, I don't know. It's evocative of a lot of comic artist styles, and the hands are kind of Penny Arcade-y. Maybe it's Penny Arcade that I'm thinking of. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look this up later. There are procedures for which a computer cannot be trusted. You have to rely on steady Horatio judgment. Back to our specimens. You'll handle clone births, A through L, and I'll do the other row. Pick one, get to work. Can you hear me? One moment I'm asleep, the next, I'm alive. My eyes struggle to adjust to the brightness of the room. Slowly comes into focus. The man in a white and blue uniform bent over me, with a bald, elongated head, a look of concern on his face. Hello? Ah, you're awake? Great. I have a couple of questions for you. He shoves the small holopad he's holding in my face. It's very bright and I recoil slightly, groaning something. He starts flipping through pages when the other voice calls out, "Come over, please. I need your help." The man looks for a place to put down the holopad, then realizes his outfit doesn't have pockets big enough to accommodate it. "Turgus FO7, I'm talking to you. Get moving." "Yes, sir. Coming. He looks down at me and ends up putting the tablet down next to me. "I'll be back." He trots away, and out of sight. I struggle to prop myself up on one elbow so that I can keep watching him. He stops at a platform some distance away, on which lies a naked man. Another uniformed man is standing nearby, looking at a side panel next to the platform. All three of them look exactly alike. Brothers? "How can I help, sir?" The uniformed man points at the naked form in front of him. "This clone is faulty. The lights are on, but it seems like nobody's home." Try to make sense of all this. These people are clones of one another? "What do you mean, sir?" "Well, it's obvious, isn't it? He can hear us, but he can't respond. Something must have gone wrong during the process. On the outside, he's fine, but his motor or educational imprinting, flawed. The result is this useless husk. What good is it being beautiful if you can't make everyone proud?" The cloning vats are near perfect, but every once in a while, some other part of the pipeline produces a disgusting abnormality. Let's take care of him, chalk him up as a total loss. What do you need me to do? Simple. Take his legs. The man called Turgus FO7 grabs the unmoving clone by the ankles and looks at the other clone. The latter has passed his hands under the clone's arms and pulls him off the platform with a grunt. Put the body in the recycling chute. This way we get the nutrients back. Think of it as his way of contributing. Both of them tug and pull haphazardly, and before long they're panting. Can't afford to show weakness at this time, or ever. Everything and everyone is perfect and beautiful in the Horatio Empire. The kindness we're doing to him, when you think about it. I watch as they come nearer and realize there are about a dozen other men on the platforms, all of them in various states of lying down or sitting up, looking at the grotesque scene with mild interest. Every single one of them is a carbon copy of the trio in front of us. Catch my reflection in a surface and suddenly realize that I, too, am one of them. A clone of them. A Horatio. It's a good thing we caught this now, so we can fix it before the ceremony. Our records need to be perfect. Otherwise, we'll end up in a backwater station, decanting only he knows what. This is a small blessing, really. You and me, I mean. For him, not so much. The trio passes in front of me, and for a moment, my eyes lock into those of the faulty clone. Far from being dead inside, I can see fear radiating from him. He knows he's going to be killed off because he's imperfect. I sit up and try to figure out what these tests are about. I don't want to follow this guy in the recycling chute. Every time I think about what a memory test entails, I come up with a blank. I think that's the issue right there. My body's functional, I can understand what people are saying and think, but there's nothing of the memory implants they mention. I'm a blank slate. Prop him up one and I open the chute. I gotta do something about this. Turn around to look at the clone next to me, who's gazing with an air of studied detachment. Our eyes lock and his expression shifts to a scowl. I haven't done anything to deserve it, although I've been fidgeting on my platform. What are you looking at, substrate? A rummage for a good comeback. All of these guys seem to hold perfection in very high regard. I know what'll shut him right up. Just wondering whose clone you are. Surely you can't be one of us. Takes him a moment, but eventually he gets it. He reddens and mutters under his breath. Definitely doesn't sound friendly. I realize we seem to be easily provoked, and causing a scene might just be my way out. Pull my legs off the platform to do just that when I catch something about to fall off. It's the holopad Turgus FO7 left by my side. Maybe there's some information in there that'll help me cheat my way through the test. What should I do? Cheat. Cheat on the test. I'll go for the subtle approach. I sit back down and put the holopad in my lap. There are a number of tabs open. Medical procedures, inventories, news. There's a tab that seems to be a serial called Forbidden Love. I press the button in front of the image and show resumes. And the show resumes. Wow. Yeah, I can't read. The sound is off. Subtitles are on. I can only guess that Turgus F07 is not as studious as he appears. The show is taking place in a richly decorated room. Draperies hanging off the walls, pieces of ornate furniture, elongated vases, and tall chalices. Everywhere portraits, statues, 3D holograms representing me. Well, the me who's in charge. We seem really into ourselves. Right on cue, there's another me on screen. He's arguing about something with somebody we can't see. Two other Horatios come into view. One dressed as a soldier, the other in civilian clothes. Soldier is demanding a rebellion on a distant colony be met with force. The civilian is offering a more measured approach, presenting it as magnanimous. The argument goes back and forth for a bit, with the main me, who they call Prime, eventually making the call. He'll be magnanimous and offer the rebels a chance to redeem themselves. Soldier stomps off while the other guy sticks around and shuffles closer to him. They share a quick embrace before he slinks off. I fast forward a bit. Soldier comes back in the next scene, some sort of parlor. Prime and him exchange oblique remarks, and it seems clear that in the shadows, things are going to get pretty bad for the rebels anyway. So that's the way things are done around here. Okay? Then the soldier tears off his uniform, revealing a perfectly smooth chest. The two exchange a smoldering look. Their lips meet with passion, and they fall to the ground. Oh. I hear footsteps approaching. I swiftly put the tablet back down. Turgus F07 is coming my way. I rest my hands on the platform and do my best to look detached. I'm ready to play the part. Right. Picks up the tablet, swipes through it, and looks at me. Right. Okay, I'll ask you a couple of questions, just making sure everything's fine. Let's get this over with, pal. I got places to be. Settle down, please. This'll only take a moment. Looks like your motor controls are working fine. Tick that box. Move on to the memory test. Make it short. What is the name of, first and foremost, our God, Creator, and Benevolent Leader? Man of my dreams, Horatio Prime. Fergus F07 looks at me and nods in approval. Okay. You're officially a high-functioning Horatio. Wow, such standards. Sit tight and wait until we're done processing everyone else. With that, he moves on, taking his holopad with him. Well, that was easy. I lay back down on the platform and relax. Some time later, the assistant comes back. Thank you for waiting. I'm going to ask you to please head to wardrobe in the next room over, where you'll find your station uniform. Anyone will do. They're all the same size, obviously. After that, you'll be directed towards indoctrination. This will be followed by dinner, orientation, and you'll be shown to your quarters. Now, this way, please. The door to the next room opens, and we step inside. There's a few tablets on the far side of the room. Uniforms are neatly stacked and folded, one next to the other. We look at one another uneasily until someone steps forward and grabs the uniform, looks at it warily, and puts it on. We follow suit. Some sort of green jumpsuit with two deep pockets. Closes with the simple zipper in the front. Uniform is a pretty snug fit. Fabric seems sturdy, yet comfortable. I notice there's a pair of light boots under the table, so I take a pair. They're a bit tight. Put my hands in my pockets and look around me, waiting for what's next. The wait doesn't last. After a minute, another door opens. The assistant from before is holding his holopad and peers inside. Okay, well, normally there's someone else to show you the way to indoctrination. We're a bit short-staffed at the moment, apparently. There's a grumble from my neighbors at this lack of decorum. I've lit up a path on the holoscreens. It will guide you there. Just proceed down that hallway to the concourse. Follow instructions. Sorry about that. I shuffle out of the room and hesitantly walk down the hallway, hoping that I won't get lost. The others are following me, though at a distance no one seems to want to take the initiative. They seem to be familiar with our surroundings, but not with the layout of the station. At least none of us has to pretend. I think no one wants to be the one going down the wrong way and making a mistake in front of the others. I've seen crossroads twice and stuck to the path indicated by an arrow, or on the wall screens. So far, so good. I keep walking. Others follow. Eventually, I hear a murmur in the distance, which grows to a distinct noise as I draw nearer. I see bright lights in the distance and a much more colorful environment. I step out into a plaza, a cathedral, green and gold. There are columns and glass everywhere, manicured trees and shrubs in every corner, and overhead an immense glass canopy. This must be the concourse. There are lots of other people here, all wearing the same jumpsuits we are, probably just new fresh clones like us. Even my jaded brethren around me are all murmuring amongst themselves in tones of wonder and amazement, as if talking out loud might make the wonders fade away. This way, please. The voice cuts through the noise effortlessly, and in a moment, the conversations go quiet. Horatio has appeared in an immense holoscreen, inviting us to move along. There are more hall projections in the hallway leading to... what was it? Indoctrination? That sounds unpleasant. Nonetheless, I follow the crowd. We meander through corridors for a couple of minutes before we reach our destination. This is a huge room covered in rich materials. Deep carpeting in the middle of the room to the paneled walls. There are long rows of wide, comfortable-looking seats, all facing a wall covered with an immense holoscreen. Low columns form arcades and run along the walls of the room. It's beautiful. A Horatio, in a red suit, is standing with arms crossed on a low podium in front of the holoscreen. He has a look of studied annoyance on his face. Once all of us are inside the room, he speaks up. "May I have your attention, please?" The room falls silent. His voice carries across the room, and even from somewhere near the entrance, I can easily hear it. "Please, take a seat. Go all the way through the row, don't just hog the center seats, you'll hear me just fine from the sides as well." There's a bit of a rush forward from the new clones to do exactly the opposite of that. Soon enough, a cluster of Horatios are sitting in the prime seats and preventing the rest of the file from moving along. Oh, for his sake! Go around the audience and find a seat from the other side. Occupy the back and side seats if necessary. I position myself carefully, a spot at the back. I'd rather watch what's happening and do my best to blend in. The Horatio in the red outfit seems about to continue when another moves in from the shadowy arcades to the side of the room and steps in to take the podium. His feet echo softly on soft green marble tiles. The red Horatio closes his mouth and deflates a bit. The other one is moving pretty slowly. From the envious look of my closest neighbors, I can only imagine it's on purpose. He dismisses Red with a casual gesture of the hand and a smile. Red Horatio leaves the stand. With a grin, the second Horatio turns to us, his cape flowing in emphatic demonstration that he's here and demands our attention. When he speaks, his inflections are slightly different. I surmise he probably spends a lot of time speaking in public. "Thank you, Second Master Sergeant Extra Speed 12. That'll be all. To each and every me, welcome to Kappa Station, finest in the cluster. Your memory implants do not cover the last couple of decades since the last backup was distributed amongst cloning facilities in this quadrant. Therefore, a lot of the information you know, the things you know, may be outdated. This is a crash course, what has happened while you were sleeping. Let's start with the most important thing. Etiquette with regards to my person. You may address me as third rank esteemed Grand Headmaster Rajshai Eternus, P02. In settings that only comprise initiate level and above station personnel, you may simply call me Grand Headmaster or Master Eternus, P02. In public, you will always address me as Your Likeness, provided that the honorifics have been properly given and received. In a small setting, you may subsequently call me Sir. He pauses for a second. Now that this is covered, let us move on to secondary topics. First, your own identity. It's with great pleasure that I deem all of you initiates. More specifically, your name will be First Level Initiate Megris, since this is the facility of origin, and then your chosen name, along with your decanting birth and batch number. You are batch 21 of this administration. There's a holopad on your desk. You may use it now to approve your suggested name, or to pick another one. Look at the holopad resting above the desk. Screen reads First Level Initiate Megrez, Placeholdus F21. Do I really want to be called by that name? I can find something better than Placeholdus. I rake my mind for an idea. Can I randomly type in letters? Wait, no, I'll be stuck with that. Better find something discreet so I blend in. I press the delete button. The words enter your name appear instead. Enter your name. The screen flashes green for a second after I hit the submit key. Okay, my name is First Level Initiate Megrez Alexius F21 for now. Hope it brings me luck. The Horatio on stage must have some way of checking our progress because after a moment, he continues. As initiates, you need not address Category X personnel or unsightly species you may encounter directly. You may find the closest underling to do that for you. Be aware that there are many new species that have been added to his glorious empire. Xenuglies aside, Xenuglies. Oh my god, that's such a clever word. It's Xeno, like Xenos, as in aliens, and then ugly. That's pretty clever. That's pretty fucking clever. There might be some aliens around the station. Do not be alarmed. They should all be tame. Generally, the rough and unwashed masses are kept from their betters, but several client species are permanent residents aboard Kappa Station. It's entirely possible you'll come across some of their representatives over the next few weeks. Should you need to communicate with them, they are familiar with our speech and will attempt to replicate it to the best of their ability. Most of the new species we've encountered have proven to be just as disappointing as we expected. He smirks, flicks his wrist, and pulls his belt buckle free. Excuse you? Oh, okay. With a wave, the buckle lights up, revealing a small holopad. Fancy. Now, for a brief interview of what's happened in the last few decades. Relationships with the so-called fledgling United Empire remains very cold. Representatives from their young leader, a human male called Zelafaz, have refused vassalage under the auspicious leadership of Horatio himself. Similarly, they have repelled violently several attempts at claiming outer planets for our empire. Proceed with caution. Relationship with a robotic insectoid hive known as the Cravers still are at an all-time low. We've eaten the last dozen envoys, as well as the ships that they came on. The colony of Heka was deemed lost after we had to vitrify the surface in the year 10191 after him. Their strengths would make a great addition to the Empire, but at this time we're not pursuing efforts any further. Similarly, we are not currently on speaking terms with the Sofan Republic. The diminutive know-it-alls have recently jumped the gun and seized the system of Ingress and... Wait, this happened centuries ago. He flicks through several screens in his holopad in rapid succession. All this information is completely out of date. Who messed up the geopolitics database? I'm surrounded by complete idiots, I swear. Never mind this. He turns off the holoscreen, sighs, and continues. Guess I'll be doing this from memory. Might be a bit patchy. Something your own memories will definitely encounter too once you start living in your body for a while. Something to do with having millennia of memories of him. Moving on, you might wonder why so many of you are being decanted at the same time, and for what purpose. This station is home to Horatio Academy. The best and brightest of his siblings come from all across the Empire for further education. The best of these, in turn, get a shot at joining the other academy, led by a Vodiani male called Iskander. It's a good name. It's a pretty good name, if I do say so myself. I mean, it's just, what's that? It's very close to Iskander, which is Alexander, so... Good name. The Vodiani. life-sucking ghouls who live in gigantic space arcs and prey on defenseless souls of our brethren. Except this Isyander fellow who fled them and founded the Academy, a place that has grown into immense power. They have knowledge and mastery of dust. Your purpose, if you end up amongst the chosen few, is to go there and acquire some of this knowledge and power and bring it back for the glory of his empire. Finally, the why as to why so many of you at once. Well, 2 of our exploration vessels disappeared recently. They contained the brightest minds of this generation, our best shot at getting the knowledge we're seeking. They are gone now. Just a very few short weeks before Horatio Prime himself is due to review our Academy candidates. Horatio Prime himself is coming to Kappa Station, and we have no cadets. The shame this would bring me, and to the whole station, would be unbearable. Anyway, we have about 3 weeks to become these candidates. Cadets. It's cadets, not candidates. I don't know why I keep misreading it. There will be extensive training. There will be classes, etiquette courses, the lessons of the latest courtly dances. There will be no failure. Or else. Now, if you have questions, keep them for your instructors tomorrow. Time for you to get sustenance and retire to your personal quarters. He turns away and walks out the way he came, under the arcades and out of sight. The Saturnus P02 guy is something else. He has a certain allure. If I understand him correctly, I have 3 weeks to not only pass for a normal Horatio, but to become an outstanding specimen, worthy of sending on to steal secrets from a powerful alien entity. Gotcha. People have already started getting up with one another when the other one comes back. Master Sergeant something, I believe? Attention, please. You are now going to be provided with dinner. Follow me to the mess hall. Without waiting, he turns around, walks down the podium, off into the opposite direction from whence he came. My brethren and I quickly follow. Finally, we get there. Compared to the concourse and the room we were just in, this is a rather drab place. Somehow halfway between a spaceport and a hospital. Doesn't look like a place to enjoy dinner so much as a place to eat. A place to feed oneself. Some of my, classmates are already in line, and a few have already sat down to eat something that I can't quite identify yet. I've decided to say classmates because I can't settle on whether we should be feeling any kinship toward one another. It does feel strange to hear brethren every other sentence, and I guess calling us cadets might be getting ahead of myself yet. Headmaster's speech didn't really help normalize the situation, really. Someone bumps into me, realizing I'm holding up the crowd. I get in line, grab a tray, slide it on the rail. There's some odd kitchen utensils available, but I'm not sure what purpose they serve, so I compromise by taking a spoon. Upon closer inspection, I realize it's a fork. The future looks amazing. I look up at the people serving us food. They're all Horatios too, wearing some sort of jumpsuit and looking pretty upset to be here. One hands me a bowl of something I don't quite recognize, serving me a mean look at the same time. I'm surprised by the direct eye contact, and before I know it, I'm saying, "Hello. Thank you?" The Horatio lunch person is as surprised as I am and frowns before saying back, "Hello. Enjoy your food." I've never seen anyone before seen anyone be so begrudging in saying thank you. But then again, I've not seen many people. Take it easy, friend. I shuffle along and look at the contents of my bowl. It's slop. Definitely slop. I don't know what it's made of, or what animal it came out of, or at least it seems hot. I'll grab some water and a piece of bread. No dessert options. Princely. I look around for a place to sit next to someone, hoping for a bit of, any kind of interaction. Sit down next to a bored-looking classmate, but after a few overtures and encouraging smiles, I give up. Every me's a bit on edge. At the other tables, it looks like people are focusing on the contents of their tray. The slop proves to be just as awful as it looks. Once I'm done pushing around the last bits of food, I stand up and go put my tray back where I've seen others do so. A fair bunch of people have already left. Looking at their trays, it seems like I'm not the only one for whom enjoyment of our dinner was minimal. Off to the side, there's a guard ticking people off a long list and sending them down a hallway. That Master Sergeant dude again, I think? Some of us seem to have different face markings and uniforms, although I'm not sure what their meanings are. We lock eyes and he barks up. "What is your name, first level initiate?" I enunciate clearly. I am Alexius F21, first level initiate Megres Alexius F21. Searches for a few moments and finds it. Yes. Alexius F21. Your living quarters are in section B8, level 9, hallway 47, door 32. Down this way, follow the signs, and you can't miss it. If you do, you'll figure it out eventually. Look the way he's pointing, a nondescript hallway off to the side leading away from the concourse. Look back to the guard, but he's turned his attention to someone else. Hesitantly, I set out to find door 32. My footsteps echo softly down long, empty hallways. Takes me some time to realize I don't see anyone else, though sometimes I hear voices echoing from afar. I eventually find my way to level 9, hallway 47. It's an even quieter area of the station, which is saying something. There are small doors here, tiny affairs compared to the ones in the main concourse. Even the ceiling's much lower, about 2 meters high. The lighting is a mixture of neon glare and oppressive flicker of a tube that just refuses to give up the ghost. I look around me to get my bearings. It seems I'm nearly at the end of the hallway, where a bend leads to some sort of control system for life support. Guess I'm getting the finest air in the area then. With one last look towards the map, I start down the hall. Door 1, 2, 31, 32. This should be it. I look around. Might be the finest air in the area, but boy oh boy, this end of the hallway looks as if it hasn't seen a mop in weeks. Strange sounds coming from the next door over, which must be the life support control room. Ominous. Is this the right place? Section B8, level 9, hallway 47, door 32. Yep, no doubt, this is me. I pull the heavy metallic door open with a groan and step inside. From my vantage point, I survey my new kingdom. Left, right, there's a tiny sink with ablutions, a mirror that doubles as a hollow screen, a toilet with no lid, a closet, a narrow bunk with a blanket and a pillow, some almost empty shelves. And we're back to the door. All in a cylinder, about 2 by 4 meters. Cozy. Well, this may not be the warm embrace of a cloning birth, but it will do. At least I have the place to myself. I pull the door closed behind me. There's a distracting buzzing coming from an overhead fan. Finest air, huh? I sit down on the bed and look about. It's a bit too hot in here now that the door is closed. There are actual physical controls and a panel by the entrance, so I turn the temperature down a notch. The buzzing increases to a screech. That's something scraping on metal? No way I can sleep with this thing on. I turn the knob back up to its original level and the metal screech subsides. Ugh, that'll do for tonight. I plop myself on the bed, turn off the light and pull the blanket over my head. There's a sinister rumble in my belly. That doesn't bode well. Alright, well, it's been about half an hour, so I'm gonna put in a cut here. I don't know how long this is. I guess I should have looked that up beforehand, but I think I'm just gonna upload this series to YouTube immediately. The Life is Strange... Oh my god. Life is Strange 2 episodes are gonna be... still going up for like the next 2 weeks. And I wanted some new-ish content. I wasn't feeling up for streaming this today because... I don't know. I don't have a good reason. But hey, YouTube. See you tomorrow. Till then, toodaloo, take care. See you then. Bye-bye.